David, how you doing today?
Amazing. Thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on the Life Coach Zach podcast. I like to talk a lot about personal growth, self-development, and mental health. So the first question I'm going to ask you, someone who's a high performer, you got a lot of obligations, you're working on a ton of massive projects. How do you keep your mental health in tip-top shape?
Well, there's three areas of mental health, and most people don't understand them. First is to look at my own mindset. The mindset is effectuated by what I think, say, do, and believe, and I can't find outside of me what I can't find inside of me. So my mental health obviously is about my mindset. My mindset's based on gratitude, which gives me a perspective to find. It's an active perspective, one that finds the light, the love, and the lessons. Forgiveness, which brings me peace. Accountability, which allows me to learn by taking control of what's happening, by saying, what did I do to attract this to myself, and what am I supposed to learn from it? And then understanding effective communication, which is the auspice of inspiration, knowing that I already am happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy, but what am I doing to interfere with it? So the number one thing that's obvious is our mindset, but two, what effectuates mental health is our heart set. See, people get confused on the way they feel, and they think that because they feel a way in the logical sense, that they can change the way they feel with logical sense. But that's not true. The only way we can change what we feel is by changing our activity or changing our action. So in order to change the way we feel, we have to take action at a higher frequency or a higher vibration. And for me, that's living closer to the truth or being of service or value or doing a good deed. See, so if I feel worried, I don't sit there and say, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Or if I feel mad, I don't say, let it go, let it go, let it go. I actually go do something like pray for someone's happiness or do a good deed. And that shifts the mental health, the actual way that I feel and the mindset that I have. And then finally, understanding daily practices that, just like a drag racing car, so many people fire down the track, 200 miles an hour, and they wonder, when something happens that changes outside of them, when they get a turn signal, usually in some respect of pain, of struggle, of setbacks, failures, mistakes, they turn and they wonder why they crash mentally. See, if you're consistently adjusting every day, knowing what you want, who can help you and who you can help, how am I going to get it done, and prioritizing correctly, you're consistently applying the why. So if you're adjusting every 100 meters in a 5,200 meter race, you got 52% of a turn compared to someone asking you at the end of the race when you're going 200 miles an hour to turn 52 degrees, you're going to crash. So mindset, heart set, and conscious continuum are the key components of looking within to change the way we see things outside of us.
Love it. I love it. I love how you talk about consciousness continuum, vibrating at a high frequency and being super present. We all have this electromagnetic wave that's projecting a frequency out into the universe, right? And when we feel these feelings of gratitude and wealth and abundance, we start to attract more of that into our life. So what are some of your daily non-negotiables or the high-value micro tasks that you accomplish day in and day out, no matter if it's raining or hurricaning, to make sure that you keep these things a priority?
Yeah, well, one, you got to have a routine, but more important than a routine is an adaptable routine based off of those non-negotiables, like you stated. And so for me, I always say, if you want to make God laugh, come up with a well-developed plan, but you can counteract God laughing at you by having non-negotiables. My number one non-negotiable is my health, not just mental, but physical health, because if you're healthy, you get as many wishes in a day as you want. If you're unhealthy, you only have one wish. And so I want to have as many wishes, which is the granted advice that I've been given, is I'm allowed to be creative and curious. I'm allowed to manifest. I'm allowed to wish. I just don't want to limit the number of wishes I have. Number two non-negotiable beyond my health is my family. So I spend a minimum amount of time, minimum of 30 minutes with my mom. With my wife, minimum of 30 minutes with my 11-year-old, a minimum of 2 minutes a day with my 3 teenage daughters, a minimum of a minute a day with my mom to tell her I'm happy, I'm healthy, I love her and appreciate her. That's all she needs to know every day to heal that relationship, because her greatest concern is my well-being. And if I can make her feel secure in my well-being, that I'm happy, healthy, wealthy, and worthy, appreciated, and love her, oh my gosh, our relationship flourishes. And then the third one is a minimum amount of time, a non-negotiable, of studying time itself, of being a student of my calendar, of being as productive as I can, with me being as productive, meaning providing value, as accessible as I can, accessing what I want and being accessible to others, and as gracious as I can, finding the light, the love, and the lesson. So my non-negotiables of my health, my family, and my time are suited towards being productive, accessible, and gracious, being efficient, effective, and statistically successful, making more money, helping more people, and having more fun, and knowing the what, the who, the how, and the now. Basically, applying my why, not searching for it.
Amazing. Amazing. Applying your why, not searching for it. Now, I tell a lot of people all the time, you don't have to be a CEO to have good leadership skills, right? Anyone can be a good leader. So tell me what a good leader means to you, and how do you try to set that example for your team moving forward?
Well, a good leader to me is an intelligent follower. It's someone that's not trying to speak to people, but trying to learn what people are listening for. A good leader is three things. One, he's a mentor. He's someone that can share his experience and dummy tax with others. It's a coach, someone that can bring out the most in others. And a teacher, someone that can explain effectively what they're listening for. It's not what I say, it's what they hear. It's not even what I say sometimes, it's what they see. Just like my children, to be a great leader to my children, I always tell people my children don't listen to me. What they do is watch me. And I plant seeds under trees that I may never sit under. I don't expect every seed that I plant in individuals to grow immediately. It may take 10, 20, 30, 40, or 50 years for the tree to finally flourish. Some of my seeds are bamboo seeds. They grow down before they grow up, so there's no apparent result in the seeds that I'm planting. But if you can effectuate this type of leadership by being an intelligent follower, by being more interested than interesting, by being a great teacher, a great coach, and a great mentor, you will have collaborative, coordinated efforts that are in a collective consciousness to pursue the potential of the business or the group.
Incredible knowledge, invaluable wisdom. You know, in 2021, there's no lack of information. You can learn whatever you want. I watch YouTube videos of you all the time. You know, I watch YouTube videos of so many leaders and personal growth coaches, and, you know, whether it's a billionaire or, you know, an Army veteran. Now, there's a difference, though, between knowing something and actually doing something, right? We have to apply these principles to our lives to see results. So we have to use our free will, and we have to build awareness and be more conscious. How do you become more conscious and more aware of yourself every single day?
Well, one is understand that all people, including me, are ignorant. So there's two types of ignorant people: ignorant, humble people, and ignorant, arrogant people. Ignorant, arrogant people don't admit that they don't know what they don't know. They don't ask for help, and they pretend to know everything. An ignorant, humble people knows that they don't know what they don't know. They ask for help, and they're searching and seeking the best way towards their potential. And so the first one is to identify your ignorance and humility, and then identify what you're doing to interfere with what you want, not go get what you want. So the greatest shift in the paradigm of free will to me is I used to use my free will to go under, over, through, around, to oversell, back end sell, lie, manipulate, and cheat. I now use my free will to clear the interference that I create for myself with the need to be right, the need to be offended, the need to be separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, worried, guilty, resentful, all of the needs of the ego. When I identify the status of that type of interference, I now, instead of going over it, under it, through it, around it, instead of lying to it, manipulating it, cheating it, I simply stop. I remind myself, I recollect and remember what and who I'm connected through, the greatest source of power, the omniscient, all-powerful, all-knowing being that I'm connected to and through. And I determine, number one, by breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth, what am I doing to interfere with that omniscience, with that all-powerful being, with that all-knowing? What am I doing to interfere with it? And I get to center and neutral. I connect to and through that source. And then I use my free will, after I clear the interference of the ego, to roll in the right direction. In other words, number one, I apply the law of gravity. I remind, recollect, and remember I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be at the right way at the perfect time. I then use the law of Goya, get off my ass, enjoy the consistent, persistent pursuit of my potential. I give everything I have, and then I allow the law of attraction or the law of allowance to fill my vessel that has expanded and grown because of the mindset, heart set, and conscious continuum that I have.
Amazing. Well said. Well said. All right, so I know you're super busy. Last question for you, okay? I'm 31 years old. I'm a personal growth life coach, certified nutritionist, still figuring out my why, my purpose. I have pretty good habits, wake up early, meditate, read, write 500 words every single day, coach my ass off, whatever. What is some words of advice that you would give to me at 31 years old?
Yeah, it's the same advice I'd give you at 21, same advice at 41 and 51. It's ask for help. So you're doing all the right things and you want to get better. So, for example, no such thing as busy, right? I'm active. Busy people are unavailable. I'm active and accessible. I have activity I get paid for, activity I don't get paid for, activity I planned, activity I don't have planned, the activity of sleep, and I'm maximizing all of it. But in order to do so, I'm asking for help. See, I know what I want. The things you listed off are a clear indication that you've taken inventory of what you want personally, experientially, giving wise, and receiving wise. Now you got to implement the who. The fastest way to get to where you want to be is find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. Ask for help in person. Ask for help on the phone. Ask for help via email. Ask for help via media, both traditional and social media. I still look at my sent box of my email every single day to see how many times I'm asking for help. And as much as I believe in radical humility, in the ignorance humility that I talked about earlier, in asking for help, I still am amazed how many times I forget, how many times I'm not consistent and persistent in the greatest way to get to where I want to be, which is asking someone for directions. So use that great chain of feeding. Find the people that feed you. Fire the people that bleed you. Ask the people that feed you for help to get you where you want to be in an accelerated, statistically efficient, and effective way.
Boom! Just like that. Ask for help. David, thank you so much again for taking the time out of your busy schedule to hop on the Life Coach Zach podcast. If there's anything I can do to support you, I will do that. And have a wonderful day and just continue to be well and healthy.
Zach, share my content, do good deeds. Email me, everyone. If you want my ebook, audiobook, want me to sign a copy of my book, send it to you. I'll pay for the book and shipping. Please email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. Thank you so much, Zach.
Thank you, David. Have a wonderful day. Talk soon.
Talk soon. Thank you.